I've been sitting here for 20 minutes trying to figure out an intro to this, and I'm honestly left speechless. I was on TikTok and I came across this. It's a community or a group of people I don't really know. You just gotta watch. And like instantly as I saw this, my mouth dropped open. As even as I'm making this, I'm just sitting here kind of dumbfounded. Um, yeah, I mean, dude, like, so like I look over to the comments and it says your favorite scene, Therian, and I'm like, what is a Therian? And as you go through the comments, that's actually mad impressive. Like, how do Therians jump like that? Commenting to stay on Therian TikTok. I'm sitting here thinking, what is a Therian? So I got to do some investigation. And I looked at Therian, and you're met with dozens and dozens of these videos. And after watching dozens and dozens of them, none of my questions were answered. What is a Therian? What do they believe? What do they think? And then I came across this comment that just added to the confusion. It says, the fact that there's people in here calling him out for mixing up furries and whatever a Therian is extremely concerning. Now, that didn't really answer anything, but it did give me another question. There's a difference between furries and Therians? I would kind of assume that Therians were a type of furry from the outfit and everything, but alas, I was wrong. There is a difference. Google says, in general, furries are individuals who say they're furries. Pretty straightforward. Therians are individuals who believe they are not completely human and instead identify as a species of non-human animal. Otherkin are individuals who believe they are not completely human and instead identify as a mythical or fantasy-based beings. Now we have to worry about the otherkin. What are the otherkin? They're different from Therians and furries? So, my research has just been dropping more questions on me than answers. So now, before we get into what a Therian is, we need to figure out what another kin is. I ended up coming across Anthony Padilla's interview with a Therian and an otherkin. Perfect, I thought.
So what do you consider yourself? Otherkin, just non-human, or?
I try to become an elf. I'm doing a lot of plastic surgery, like, fantasy kind of features in my face and body to become something that doesn't look really natural.
Boom. 15 seconds in, don't even need to watch anymore. I figured out what another kin is. Now on to the Therian in the interview. They are practically the best representative of what I imagined a Therian to be, and you'll see why.
I consider myself a British Columbia wolf and red fox Therian.
I might just tear you to shreds.
I want you to pay attention to how Anthony's laughing. Head up, eyes closed, mouth wide open. Nothing that this person said was funny. Anthony is in straight survival mode. He is in fear for his life of the person sitting right in front of him. And of course, like everything like this, it all somehow circles right back to Reddit on r/Therian. According to the Reddit, therianthropy is an ontological phenomenon categorized by a deep integral and personal feeling that an individual is to some degree a non-human animal. Apparently they consider it to be involuntary, like being black. So I don't know what's going on, dude. Here's a Reddit post that I think sums it up pretty well. 2 years ago, what is a Therian? My sister told me she was a Therian, and she tried to explain it to me, but I don't understand. If you know you're in a human body, why would you act like an animal? Can someone please explain to me? I really don't understand. I think that's a question that many of us watching this video have in mind. So let's see what Dragon Synth has to say. It's not about acting like other animals. Side note, humans are a kind of animal. Love that little addition. It's about an inner identity. Take a moment to visualize yourself, not restrained by your physical appearance, but rather without restrictions. For me, that gives me something that is not human. I feel non-human phantom Whoa. I feel non-human phantom limbs. When I'm stressed and anxious, my instinctive response is to hiss. I sometimes find myself walking on the balls of my feet, my toes, as though I were a degrade rather than plantigrade. And my mother always said I walked oddly, and she blamed herself, but I would imagine that if all humans needed to learn to walk properly by walking on other people's feet, humans would not know how to walk properly in the first place. And while this is difficult, it also seems to be just as natural to me as walking in a more typically human manner. I sometimes have a strong urge to make sounds that humans don't seem to make. Whoa. Typically something akin to a growl/whine, but with varying emotions. These things are not chosen actions, they just exist as a part of me. Maybe my brain is wired a little weird. Maybe my spirit remembers being in other bodies. Whatever the explanation, all I know is for sure that I do experience these things as a natural part of my existence. And labels like Therian, Alterhuman, oh, we gotta look that up now, and otherkin suit me because of that. They're descriptive of my experiences, of my existence as someone who, while inhabiting a human body, doesn't feel internally human. You just explained my whole existence. Whoa. Alterhuman is an umbrella term for individuals who identify with identities that are beyond what is traditionally considered human, encompassing various non-human or alternative human identities such as Therians, otherkin, and fictionkin. So what is a fictionkin? Fictionkin are individuals who identify as or feel a deep spiritual psychological connection to a fictional character or species, viewing themselves as actually being that character on some level rather than just identifying with. Alright, I'm going to have to stop it here because I'm seeing stuff for like Fiction Hearted. I got to get out of here. This is leading me down a rabbit hole I'm not trying to get in. Therians are Therians, man. So altogether, what have we learned? A Therian is not a furry, is not an otherkin, not a fictionkin. They feel like they have phantom limbs, and they hiss at people, and they feel like an animal trapped in a human's body, I understand.